Nanotechnology may sound like a modern invention, but it actually started 60 years ago. So how did we go from an idea to manipulating matter at the nanoscale? Hello, my name is Zidyep Jonathan, and I am final year Metallurgical and Materials Engineering student at Efforts Institute of Technology, Kaduna, Nigeria. And this is Nano with Zidyep, where I document my learning journey of nanotechnology and nanomaterials step by step. So today we'll be talking about the history of nanotechnology. So let's talk about the beginning of how it all started. And we can't talk about nanotechnology without talking about Richard Feynman. So in 1959, the physicist Richard Feynman gave a famous lecture titled "There's Plenty of Room at the Bottom." In that lecture, he proposed something revolutionary, that it might be possible to manipulate and control matter at the atomic scale. At that time, the idea sounded almost impossible, but it laid the foundation for nanotechnology. But at this point, nanotechnology was still just an idea. There was no way to actually see or manipulate atom at that point in time. Then there is another person too of significance that also contributed, and his name is Norio Taniguchi. And in 1974, Norio Taniguchi first used the term nanotechnology to describe processes that operate at very small scales. But the real breakthrough came when scientists developed tools that could actually see atoms. So they already knew what the name was, which was nanotechnology, which describes seeing things at a very, very small scale. And also they already had the idea, but they never had a way of looking at the nano or looking at it or seeing atoms at that scale. So scientists developed tools that could actually see atoms. But the real breakthrough of nanotechnology actually started when the scientists developed tools that could actually see atoms. And these tools made it possible for them to be able to see atoms at that scale. And what are these tools? They are the scanning tunneling microscope, atomic force microscope. So this instrument allows scientists to not only see atoms but also manipulate them. For the first time, nanotechnology became real. So it was something that they just had as an idea, but when they had the technology to actually see these things at that scale, then it became something that was now real. This is when nanotechnology moved from theory to reality. It was all in their head, all an idea, but then when they had tools like scanning tunneling microscope and atomic force microscope, then it became a reality. Today, nanotechnology is used in many areas like medicine, electronics, energy, coatings, and materials engineering. From cancer treatment to stronger materials, nanotechnology is shaping the future. So, what started as a simple idea, controlling matter at that very small scale, has now become a powerful field that connects physics, chemistry, biology, and also engineering. And we cannot talk about the history of nanotechnology without saying the fact that the development of nanotechnology has also been recognized at the highest level, including the Nobel Prize. We all know the Nobel Prize, including the Nobel Prize. We all know the Nobel Prize as one of the highest level of recognition in the space of physics, chemistry, biology, and engineering. And for you to be recognized as somebody with a Nobel Prize, you should know that it has a significant impact on the future of humanity. So let's name some people that also benefited or people that also contributed to nanotechnology that won the Nobel Prize. So firstly, there is Andrew Geim and also Konstantin Novoselov, or I don't know how to pronounce it very well, but I hope this is the right pronunciation for it. In 2010, Andrew Geim, after this video, I'm going to go and check the real pronunciation. So sorry, Andrew, in case you're watching this, Andrew Geim and Konstantin Novoselov. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm very sorry. So they won the Nobel Prize for the discovery of graphene. You know graphene? a single layer of carbon atoms with extraordinary properties. This is not a video where we'll talk about graphene. I hope in the future we're going to talk and explore more about graphene, but this is not it. But this is what they discovered. And also, there are other two people too, Jack Binek and Heinrich Bohr. I'm very sorry. I will try to check these names after this video, but it's Jack Binek and Heinrich Rob or something. Sorry, I'm sorry. I repeat again. I know the pain of calling somebody's name wrongly, so I understand when somebody calls somebody names. Some people call my name Zidyep, you hear Zidyep, you hear different types of things. So they were awarded the Nobel Prize for developing the scanning tunneling microscope, which made it possible to visualize atoms. These discoveries played a major role in turning nanotechnology into practical field. So basically, this is the history of how nanotechnology came into existence. It started with the lecture that there are plenty of space in the bottom by Richard Feynman, which is a very very super scientist, and I've been using his learning method for a very long time. Which there's a learning method where he said you have to, before you learn something, you have to be able to teach it to others in the simple way possible. If you cannot teach something, you don't understand it, and that's the main aim of this video. When I'm making these videos, I'm understanding what I'm teaching the most. So he also made that lecture, and they didn't have a way to view these things. They didn't know how to actually see these things. Till then, the Norio what's his name? Taniguchi. I think that's a Japan. Taniguchi. He pronounced, all I will say, he first used the term nanotechnology, and then we had the tools, which was scanning tunneling microscope and atomic force microscope, that was created. And this microscope they were created by Gerd Berning and Heinrich Bohr. These two people, they created, and then they were not able to see this atom at that scale to be able to explore it. Do you understand? So basically, when they started seeing it, it developed to something serious, and today we have nanotechnology. It's not something that just started today. You might just sit and hear nanotechnology. No, that's a new invention. No, it has not been new. It has been here since the 90s, 1959, since long way before. So we are still exploring the nanotechnology space, still learning and still improving on it day by day. I'll just imagine what it feels like to get a Nobel Prize. I don't know, maybe in the future I might be lucky to get one, or I might work to get one. Who knows? So this is nanotechnology, Nano with Zidyep, and thank you for listening to this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode where we'll talk about something interesting, the application of nanotechnology in real world, the application of nanotechnology in the real world. So thank you, and I see you in the next video. Bye.